What up, guys? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Wednesday, April 4th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for the Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. A shooting at YouTube's headquarters in San Bruno, California left 3 people injured and 1 person dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound Tuesday, police said. San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini told reporters that first responders found 3 gunshot victims inside the building and at an adjacent building. There was also 1 woman inside the YouTube building with what investigators believe is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The woman is a person we believe to be the shooter, Barberini said. Representatives from the San Francisco General Hospital and Stanford University Hospital told KPIX-TV in San Francisco that they received patients from the incident. Shortly after police received 911 calls at about 12:46 p.m., San Bruno police tweeted that they responded to an active shooter and ordered the public to stay away from the area near Cherry Avenue and Bay Hill Drive. Google, the parent company of YouTube, said it was coordinating with law enforcement hospitals. The company said, "Our security team has been working closely with authorities to evacuate buildings and ensure the safety of employees in the area." YouTube employees said they were barricaded inside their offices at the company's San Bruno, California headquarters Tuesday as police responded to an active shooter at the building. YouTube employee Vladimir Varuskik posted on Twitter that he heard shooting. He wrote, "Heard shots and saw people running while at my desk, now barricaded inside a room with coworkers." Varuskik later tweeted that he was safe and had been evacuated from the building. Barberini said police were searching the building to make sure it was completely evacuated, though there was no reason to believe there were any other suspects or shooters. At least 1,000 people work at YouTube headquarters, which spans multiple buildings. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the Democrat from California, issued a statement saying that her stomach sinks with yet another active shooter alert. She posted on Twitter, "I'm praying for the safety of everyone at YouTube headquarters." President Donald Trump said officials briefed him on the shootings. He says, "Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved. Thank you to our phenomenal law enforcement officers and first responders that are currently on the scene." Netflix's Stranger Things is headed to Universal Studios' annual Halloween Horror Nights event that features haunted houses depicting scary movies and TV shows. A haunted house depicting events from Season 1 of the Supernatural series will have theme park guests walking through the Hawkins National Laboratory, where series star 11, played by Millie Bobby Brown, was experimented on. The house will include a section representing the Upside Down. The monstrous Demogorgon will also be presented and on the hunt. A teaser trailer for Stranger Things' inclusion in Halloween Horror Nights was released Tuesday and features the entrance to the Universal Studios and how it would look in the Upside Down. Universal Studios says, "Get your waffles ready," in a statement referencing to Eleven's favorite food. "We're very excited to be working closely with Netflix to give our guests an immersive experience into the Stranger Things world by recreating some of the show's most iconic scenes, 80s settings, and most loved characters." The Stranger Things haunted house will be at Universal Studios locations in Hollywood, Orlando, and Singapore. Hollywood stars Channing Tatum and Jenna Tatum announced Monday that they have split up after nearly 9 years of marriage. The Tatum said in a statement they posted on Instagram, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together. Absolutely nothing has changed about how much we love one another, but love is a beautiful adventure that is taking us on different paths for now. There are no secrets nor salacious events at the root of our decision, just 2 best friends realizing it's time to take some space and help each other live the most joyous, fulfilled lives as possible. We are still a family and will always be loving, dedicated parents to Beverly. We won't be commenting beyond this, and we thank you all in advance for respecting our family's privacy." The celebrities met on the set of 2006 film Step Up. Their only child daughter, Beverly, is 4 years old. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds showed their support for Emily Blunt and John Krasinski on the red carpet Monday. The 30-year-old actress and 41-year-old actor attended the New York premiere of Blunt and Krasinski's movie A Quiet Place at AMC's Lincoln Square Theater. Krasinski directed and co-stars with Blunt in the film. Lively, who wore a black dress with a plunging neckline, were all smiles as she posed for photos with Reynolds. The couple married in 2012 and shared two daughters, 3-year-old James and 18-month-old Inez. The premiere follows rumors Lively and Reynolds are having marriage troubles and struggle to spend quality time together. Reynolds jokingly dismissed the reports in a tweet Saturday, writing, "I wish I could use a little me time." A Quiet Place opens in theaters Friday, April 6th. The movie, which co-stars Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe, follows a family who lives in silence in order to evade creatures who hunt by sound. The Office alum Jenna Fischer experienced a wardrobe malfunction before her appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live and decided to walk out onto the talk show wearing a towel with jeans. The actress, who brought out the dress she planned to wear on a hanger, told Kimmel she improvised by wearing the towel after the zipper of her dress broke. Fisher said, I'm a Missouri girl and the show must go on," said before, describing how comfortable wearing the towel was. She says, "I'm mentally a little freaking out that I'm on a talk show in a towel, but I'm physically very comfortable." Fisher posted a photo of her last-minute outfit while sitting next to Kimmel on Twitter with the caption, "Onstage." Fisher, who was on the talk show to promote her new ABC series, Splitting Up Together, also talked about how she walked past the Kardashian family while staying at a hotel in Kyoto, Japan. The actress took a photo of a passing Kim and Kourtney Kardashian to send to her mother-in-law, who is a big fan of the reality television stars. Fisher said then she mimicked a photo Kourtney posted on Instagram of herself posing inside the hotel. Shannen Doherty posted on Instagram that she stays positive when taking a tumor marker test. She announced last year that she was in remission from cancer. The Beverly Hills 90210 alum said on Instagram, alongside a photo of herself with thumbs up as her mom Rosa undergoes testing as well, "Went to the doctors today for tumor marker tests and bone density scan. Yeah, that's my mom. I figured why not? She got bone tests done as well." She also added, "I adore my doctors and all the great people who work there. But not going to lie, there is always anxiety waiting for test results to come back. Reoccurrences happen, and I can't imagine how it must feel to be back cancer only to have it return again." She continued before saying that she'll remain strong. She says, "For now, I stay positive, stay healthy, and do what I can to help promote research so that cancer can be beaten once and for all. I'll keep you posted on my results. By the way, my mom is great." Doherty finished chemotherapy treatments in February 2017 after she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. The actress then announced in April 2017 that she was in remission. Doherty has returned to acting, will be seen in Paramount Network's upcoming dark comedy series Heathers, based on the 1990 film of the same name that she starred in. The television adaptation was delayed following the mass school shooting in Parkland, Florida. Savannah Guthrie says she doesn't mind looking her age. The 46-year-old broadcast journalist discussed her approach to beauty in a blog post for Today, published Monday after welcoming her second child son, Charles Max, in December. She said, "I'm like anyone. When I see a picture where my wrinkles are apparent, I don't love looking at that, and I'll try to put on the good Instagram filter on there to make it look better. But I'm not going to not put the picture up. I'm 46 years old, and I don't mind looking 46 years old." Guthrie was widely praising for posting makeup-free photos after Charles's birth, but said she doesn't judge anyone who would do otherwise. She explained, "I thought everyone would be looking at the baby, so who cares what I look like? It's natural, but I don't judge anyone who wants to pose and get made up and put a little lipstick on. Childbirth is hard, no matter how you do it." Guthrie shared similar sentiments about anti-aging procedures, saying people have the right to do what makes them feel best. The star said, "Sometimes people say, 'I can see your wrinkles.' Well, that's true. I do have some wrinkles. I call them smile lines. They are from smiling and laughing, and those are the best kind of wrinkles." She added, "We did a segment on the show where I got a little Botox. I'm definitely not above it. Whatever it takes to make you feel best." Guthrie shares Charles and 3-year-old daughter Val with husband Michael Feldman, whom she married in March 2014. She posted a photo Sunday on Instagram from her family's Easter celebration. The star wrote, adding a heart emoji, "Happiest Easter." Roseanne veterans Johnny Galecki and Estelle Parsons are set to reprise the role of David and Beverly in the April 17th episode of The Revival. A synopsis for ABC says David unexpectedly shows up for Harris's birthday after being absent for years, forcing Darlene to re-examine their relationship and the rest of the family. Meanwhile, Bev temporarily moves into the Connor home after an incident at the nursing home prevents her from returning. Roseanne stars Roseanne Barr as the titular matriarch of the working-class Connor family. John Goodman plays her husband, Dan. Sarah Gilbert, Lacey Goranson, and Michael Fishman are their kids, Darlene, Becky, and DJ. And Laurie Metcalf is Roseanne's sister, Jackie. Emma Keeney played Harris, the daughter of former childhood sweethearts Darlene and David, and Beverly is the mother of Roseanne and Jackie. ABC announced Friday it renewed the family sitcom for an 11th season. Season 10 debuted March 27th, more than 2 decades after its season 9 finale, and earned an average audience of about 22 million viewers. Kaley Cuoco says ex-husband Ryan Sweeting nearly ruined marriage for her. The 32-year-old actress discussed her divorce from Sweeting in the May issue of Cosmopolitan after getting engaged to Carl Cook in November. She told the magazine, "I honestly thought I wouldn't get married again. My ex ruined that word for me." Cuoco split from Sweeting in September 2015 after less than 2 years of marriage. She largely blamed Sweeting for the divorce, saying that the 30-year-old tennis pro completely changed during the course of their marriage. The star says, "I married someone the first time who completely changed, and that wasn't my fault, that was his. I knew how much I had to give and how much I wanted to receive." She added, "I knew I just had to be patient. I had to go through a lot of things, but it brought me to Carl." Cuoco finalized her divorce from Sweeting in May 2016. People reported at the time that the actress would pay Sweeting $165,000 and up to $55,000 in legal fees, but no spousal support. The Big Bang Theory star was first linked to Cook and Equestrian in spring 2016 following her split from Sweeting. She posted a cute photo on Instagram in March of herself and Cook sharing a kiss. The star wrote, "I asked at Mr. Tank Cook to take a cute selfie from us from high up, which is a way better angle. So naturally he took this LOL till next year. At Hits Horses Shows, after a fantastic circuit, it's time to go home." Rachel Bloom, the creator and star of the CW's musical comedy series Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, has said that the show will come to a close with Season 4. Bloom said on Twitter Monday after the CW renewed the show, along with a handful of other series, including their DC comic Slate and Jane the Virgin, among others, just turned on my Wi-Fi on our flight to Chicago and found out that #Crazy Ex-Girlfriend has been renewed for a final season. The CW did not mention that Season 4 would wrap up Crazy Ex-Girlfriend when it was announced that it was renewed. Bloom and co-creator Eileen Brush have said from the start that they envisioned 4 seasons in total for the show, Deadline reported. Bloom tweeted after celebrating the renewal, "The odds of selling a TV show pitch are small. The odds of getting a pilot shot are even smaller. The odds of getting that show ordered to series are even smaller. The odds of getting past season 1 are even smaller. Because of at the CW, #Crazy Ex-Girlfriend beat the odds." Bloom made headlines in March when it was announced that she would be a guest star on an upcoming episode of iZombie. House and the Night Manager actor Hugh Laurie has signed on to play Major DeCoverley in Catch-22, Hulu's limited series featuring George Clooney as Colonel Cathcart. Clooney is directing and producing the 6-part adaptation of Joseph Heller's novel with longtime creative partner Grant Heslov. Christopher Abbott will play the central character Yazarian, an incomparable artful dodger, and a U.S. Air Force bombardier in World War II who is furious because thousands of people he has never met are trying to kill him, a news release says. The synopsis reads, "His real problem is not the enemy, but rather his own army, which keeps increasing the number of missions the men must fly to complete their service. Yet if Yossarian makes any attempt to avoid his military assignments, he'll be in violation of Catch-22, a hilariously sinister bureaucratic rule which specifies that a concern for one's own safety in the face of dangers which are real and immediate is the process of rational mind. A man is considered insane if he's willing continuously to fly dangerous combat missions, but a request to be removed from duty is evident of sanity and therefore makes him ineligible to be relieved from duty." Actor Eric-bana landed the lead role in the upcoming Bravo series Dirty John. Co-starring Connie Britton, the show is based on the true crime podcast of the same name from Los Angeles Times reporter Christopher Godoff. It is being executive produced and written by Alexander Cunningham. Britton and Bana are also executive producers on the project. Bana will play John Meehan, a handsome and romantic charmer who sweeps Deborah Newell off her feet and pulls her into his web of lies. the news release says. The series chronicles the true story of how romance with him spirals into secrets, denial, and manipulation. Brent is known for her work in Nashville, American Horror Story, Friday Night Lights, and Spin City. Jared-Leto stumbled upon the set of The Tonight Show while hitchhiking across the United States in support of his upcoming 30 Seconds to Mars album, America. Leto, with a backpack on hand, walked through the Tonight Show curtain as host Jimmy Fallon was hosting Monday's episode. The lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, an actor, said that he was just looking for the street before Fallon led him downstairs. Leto said to Fallon while riding an elevator, "I'm actually doing this." He said besides hitchhiking across America, he plans to ride a donkey through the Grand Canyon. He says people are going to watch this and think this is a gag. I'm actually doing this. Leto, after arriving on the streets of New York, received a lift from rapper A$AP Rocky, who pulled up to the side of the street in a minivan. Leto's hitchhiking journey began Monday in New York with the official Instagram account of 30 Seconds to Mars posting photos of the Suicide Squad star posing with A$AP Rocky and being surrounded by fans. Leto on his Instagram posted a photo of himself walking alongside a police officer. He says thank you to New York's finest for their kindness and incredible support today. America, the fifth studio album from 30 Seconds to Mars, includes members Tomino Milovic and Shannen Doherty, who is set for release on Friday. Rapper Cardi B is poised to become the first co-host of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on Monday in New York. The news release for NBC says the delightful, charming chart topper who recently won Best New Artist and Best New Hip Hop Artist at the iHeartRadio Music Awards will join Fallon on stage throughout the program. She will chat with Fallon and perform in support of her upcoming debut album, Invasion of Privacy, then stick around to interview the evening's other guests alongside Fallon. Cardi B appeared on the show December 20th as a guest and performed No Limit with G-Eazy in September. Demi Lovato got physically intimate with fellow singer Kehlani, who she kissed on stage during her final performance in the United States as part of Tell Me You Love Me tour. Kehlani, the opening act for Lovato at the New York, New Jersey show on Monday, surprised the pop star from behind as she sang on a rotating bed. The pair then locked lips before Lovato placed Kehlani down on the bed and continued to sing as she seductively mounted the performer. Lovato said on Instagram, alongside photos of Kehlani hugging her from behind on the bed during the concert, "Truly so grateful to have had this extremely special, talented, and cool-ass woman on this tour with me." She's continued, "What an incredible, funny, sexy, crazy night that I'll never forget." Kehlani said on Instagram about Lovato alongside a similar set of photos, "'Twas a dream getting to do this tour with you. Watching you every night was a learning experience, and you'll forever have a fan and supporter in me." Kehlani continued, "Tonight your dancers put me up to this, but anyone would be stupid not to jump at the chance to hop on that damn moving bed and grab your face. LOL. I love you and appreciate you, beautiful. Cheers to you. More life and success on the rest of the legs of this tour." And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1913, Muddy Waters is born. When Bob Dylan picked up the electric guitar at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, he permanently alienated a portion of his passionate fan base. When Muddy Waters went electric roughly 20 years earlier, he didn't have a fan base to be concerned about, and those who did go to his shows probably had no quarrel with his motivation for plugging in, which was simply to play loud enough to be heard inside a raucous nightclub. Little could those lucky Chicagoans have known that they were hearing the birth of a style of blues that would become a fundamental part of their city's cultural identity. Out of all the bluesmen played their trade in the clubs of the Windy City in the late 40s and early 50s, none did more than Muddy Waters to create the Chicago blues, the hard-driven, amplified, distinct urban sound which roots in the rural Mississippi Delta, where Waters was born on this date in 1913. Muddy Waters was born McKinley Morganfield in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He played and sang at parties and fish fries from the age of 17. Spent his days picking cotton at the Stovall Plantation for 50 cents a day. In 1941, folklorist Alan Lomax, on his famous trip to the Delta on behalf of the Library of Congress, discovered Waters and made the first recordings of his slide guitar blues, released many years later as the Plantation Recordings. By 1944, Waters had joined the Great Migration that took African Americans by the hundreds of thousands north to cities like Chicago. It was there that his country blues evolved into the aggressive Chicago blues, exemplified on famous songs like Rolling Stone, Hoochie Coochie Man, Manish Boy, and Got My Mojo Working. The first of those songs would later provide songwriting inspiration to Bob Dylan and the idea of a name for the famous British rock group. The Rolling Stones were just 100 of bass blues groups that formed in England in the early 1960s, inspired in part by Muddy Waters' records and by his tour of Britain in 1958. Waters would be regarded as a blues giant on the strength of his 1947-1958 Chess Records recordings alone, but it was the influence of those records of a younger generation of British musicians that formed the basis for his inclusion into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Born on this day, in 1913, Muddy Waters died near his adopted hometown of Chicago on April 30th, 1983. Also on this date in 1960, Ben-Hur wins 11 Academy Awards. Clocking in at 3 hours and 32 minutes, William Wyler's Technicolor epic Ben-Hur was the behemoth entry at the 32nd Annual Academy Awards ceremony held on this date in 1960 at the RKO Pantages Theater in Hollywood. Setting an Oscar record, the film swept 11 of 12 categories in which it was nominated, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Charlton Heston. Wyler's 1959 film was the latest dramatic adaptation of the mega best-selling novel Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ, published in 1880 by Lew Wallace. Wallace, a former general of the American Civil War, wrote his most successful novel after experiencing a new awakening of his Christian faith. The book told the story of a young Jewish aristocrat, Judah Ben-Hur, who chafes against the repressive Roman rule in Judea, loses his fortune and family, but eventually triumphs over obstacles, thanks partly to the intervention of Jesus Christ. After Wallace's novel was adapted into a long-running stage play in 1899 and a short film in 1907, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer bought the film rights and produced a major motion picture version directed by Cecil B. DeMille in 1925. After DeMille scored a hit with the remake of his own 1923 biblical epic, The Ten Commandments, MGM decided to revive Ben-Hur as well. Wyler had worked on the set with DeMille's 1925 version, and Square-Jaw Heston played Moses in The Ten Commandments. Film on location in Italy on a budget of some $15 million, Ben-Hur was the most expensive movie ever made up at that time. The film's famous chariot race scene alone took 3 weeks to shoot and used some 15,000 extras. The setting for the race was constructed on 18 acres of the backlot space of Cinecittà Studios outside Rome. Aside from a few of the most daredevil stunts, Heston and Stephen Boyd, who played Messala, Judah Ben-Hur's boyhood friend turned bitter enemy, did most of their own chariot driving. The payoff was big. Writing in his review of the New York on the film for the New York Times, Bosley Crowther called the scene a stunning complex of mighty setting, thrilling action by horses and men, panoramic observation, and overwhelming dramatic use of sound. At the 1960 Oscars, Ben-Hur swept 11 categories, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor for Hugh Griffin, played an Arab sheik who befriends Ben-Hur, Best Cinematography, Best Color Art Direction, Set Direction, Best Sound, Best Score, Best Film Editing, Best Color Costume Design, and Best Special Effects. It was also nominated in the Best Adapted Screenplay category. Ben-Hur's record of a number of Oscars still stands, although two films, 1997's Titanic and 2003's The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, have matched it. And as your entertainment report for Wednesday, April 4th, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.